Well, hi there, everybody. I've got a big old episode for you today. Um, yeah, so we got our top 5 things that have sold in the last couple weeks since I talked to you last. And I can tell you guys a little bit about the road trip we took to the largest flea market in the state of Missouri, which is pretty interesting. Just a second here. Okay, so let's start off with one of the top 5 items that sold, made pretty good money over the past couple weeks. And, some of these things I picked just because I was tired of looking at them and seeing them, and not because they made a ton of money. But one thing that has bugged me the whole entire time with this deal would be when we went to Plains to Profit in Omaha. That's the meetup for Midwest resellers. We went to one thrift store. I think it was a Thrift World, and I know I've talked about this a little bit, but I purchased a robot vacuum, a Samsung robot vacuum. I believe it was the 7040 or something like that. But anyway, really nice, actually. Got it home, got it plugged in and everything, went to try it, and it would power up and it would come off the dock to start going and vacuuming, and then it would just stop. And I'm like, what the hell? Well, somebody had taken out the battery. So it was worthless. I mean, I think I ended up paying $25 for it, but it was going to be $50, but it was half off everything. So I got it for like $25. A battery and everything for it would have been over $100. So I was like, well, I mean, if we want to keep this for ourselves, but we didn't really want to, And so I just figured, hey, let's part it out, So I took it apart, took out the parts that I saw that sell a lot. And we've sold 3 of those parts now, which is more than paid for the $25 I spent on the whole device. And I think I've got like 7 or 8 more parts. So while this one didn't make a lot of money, I think it ended up making, let me see here. Yeah, it ended up making around not quite $10.50. While it didn't make a lot of money, it's still another one of those pieces out the door. So this is the brush roll motor from the Samsung PowerBot R7070, and ended up selling that puppy for $21.19, shipping included. By the time it all broke down or whatever, we ended up with a little bit over $10. So still a profit. It's all been a profit, to be honest with you. Before selling this one, it was already a profit. So pretty much pure gravy. But yeah, it's the first item out of the 5 that I'm going to talk about today. So yeah, we went on a road trip I had seen some videos in regards to the largest flea market in the state of Missouri, Rutledge Flea Market. Rutledge is I guess it's northwest of like Columbia, Missouri or something. It was a good 3.5 hours for us to drive. And so, hold on just one moment. No, everything's fine. Sorry. But it was a good distance to drive. But I'd seen some videos of it. It looked like there was some decent stuff there. And so we hadn't really gone to any flea markets yet for sourcing. And so I just thought this would be good. Plus, we kind of wanted to get away, just us, the wife and I, for a few days. It's been a heck of a long summer, and we just wanted a few nights without having to worry about feeding somebody or taking care of the dogs or anybody else, really, except ourselves. And so that's why we went, mainly. But we also turned it into a sourcing trip. So we went to, we stayed outside of Kirksville, Missouri. And then Rutledge, Missouri is really only like 25 miles away or something. But we did not want to stay in one of these like teepee A-frame shacks that they have that were like $125 a night. And then you have a community shower. You have to go walk across the street. It's like an outhouse. I mean, no thanks. And so I found a place in a town nearby there called El Plata or La Plata. Yeah, La Plata. And it's just outside of Kirksville. And they had a hotel there called the Depot Inn. And it's actually pretty nice. You know, I ended up getting us a suite there, and we had a jacuzzi tub in our room. Really nice, too. Very clean, very nice room. There's some oddities about it. Like there were 2 TVs on the wall in there, and one of them didn't really work very well. So it's like, okay, guys, maybe you put the new one where the old one was and take the old one out of the room. But who the fuck knows why. But really, that was the weirdest thing about the room. It was actually a really nice big king bed and a little sitting area, you know, good sized dorm fridge, microwave. Everything was in there. The only other gripe I would have is the ice machine. The day we got there, which was a Thursday night or whatever, went to go fill up our ice bucket, and it filled up about halfway and then just stopped working. And the ice machine was broke from that point forward. It was never fixed again the whole weekend. We were only there a couple nights, but still, it's like, that sucked. And, you know, really other than that, I mean, the continental breakfast kind of sucked too. I mean, they had a waffle maker there, but they didn't have any like eggs and bacon and stuff, which I'm not a big sweets guy, so waffles aren't going to work for me. But wham wham boo-hoo, right? It was still better than staying in a freaking shack out in the middle of nowhere and then having to walk across the street to go take a shower with however many other people were staying in the shacks there. So we we were pretty happy overall, and it was really just like, I think like $35 more per night to stay in this hotel suite. So it was a no-brainer. All right. So we went there on a Thursday night. We were getting up bright and early Friday morning because we wanted to go get a golf cart, because this flea market is so huge, and I'll put a link to it in the notes. This flea market is so big that they have multiple areas where they're renting out golf carts, and people bring their own like gators and stuff and drive them around too. But we wanted to be sure that we got a golf cart, so we were going to go there early Friday morning because it's Friday and Saturday only. And I think it's a couple times a month, not every weekend. So anyway, let me get on to the thing that made the second most amount of money. And this is another thing that's pretty interesting. It's been around quite a while, to be honest with you. And one of those things, again, that really we just wanted to get rid of. And it ended up working out for us. This is a Evapolar EV3000 cartridge, and I believe what this thing is for. Let me double check here real quick, because I didn't quite understand it exactly. It didn't really matter to me, but I believe this is just an air filter cartridge. It's a paper cartridge, I know that, so it's some sort of air filter. Again, I don't know a whole lot about it, and it doesn't really matter to me, but yeah, for filtering air, maintaining indoor air quality. That's what it's for. I bought this thing, geez, let me see here real quick. I'll just take a look at when that happened. I want to say I bought it even in 2024, so I might have bought that last year. Yes, I believe so. Maybe not. I don't know. But I bought it a while back, and it's just kind of been sitting around, and it's like, dang it, dude, why won't this thing sell? But it wouldn't. And so, you know, we just had to deal with it. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I know better now. I'm never going to buy something like that again. There it is. Yeah. I think I paid $2 for it. No, it was in 2025. I paid $2 for it. And it was on the half off day at our local Hillcrest thrift store here on February 1st. So we've been holding on to that thing for, I mean, it sold on, when was that? August 2nd. So it's 2 to 8, so 6 months. 6 months we had that thing. Granted, it wasn't big and it wasn't a lot to hold on to or whatever. It was very cheap to ship because it was pretty small. Not really. It actually cost like $10.82 to ship. Jeez. But anyway, after shipping and fees and all that stuff, we had $19.87, and then we sold it for $2. So we'll take that off. So it was about $18 we made on that one. Not bad. Close to the 20. I like to make 20 on everything that we get, but it doesn't always happen. So that would be the second most. So we get up early on Friday morning. So early that they didn't even have the continental breakfast out, actually. Because even though it was only 20 some miles away, it takes like 45 minutes to get there because you have to go on all these backcountry roads. So kind of pain in the ass. But long story short, we get there. We're waiting in line to get one of the golf carts. And I believe it was Mennonites that owned this and are running it. But they... it wasn't cheap. I want to say we paid like $60 to rent that cart. We were only there maybe 3 hours, but we started shopping. We started going through things. I was trying to back up the cart. This lady was walking behind the cart with her kids. I didn't see. She wasn't paying attention, or she just didn't care. Maybe she thought I had rearview mirrors. I don't know, but dang near hit those poor kids, and she was kind of yelled at us. Turns out she was a vendor there. Pretty hilarious. Not really. I don't want to hurt anybody, but it's like, dude, if I had kids, I would have waited to go until the person that obviously doesn't know you're there has moved the cart. Or I would say, hey, just a second, can we walk by? Or anything else except what she did, which is nothing. I'm not blaming her. I should have been paying better attention too. But again, there's no reason to yell at anybody about it, because really everyone and no one is at fault there. So just thank goodness nobody got hurt. So we start kind of going down the first row of these. There's tents. There's a lot of people put up sheds because I guess they pay rent there and they keep their inventory in there. And a lot of people were staying in like campers and stuff out there. Some people were staying in the backs of vans. I mean, it was pretty... I forgot to tell you this, guys. I should have led off with this. This flea market has a nickname also. It is called the Hillbilly Flea Market. So we indeed experienced some hillbilly action. There's no two ways about it. And, I get it. I mean, look, you don't go hunting for this stuff and doing all this if you're expecting to see people who are just loaded with money. We're not loaded with money, but yeah, we're definitely doing better than these folks. And I did feel for them and all that, but man, it was pretty much, sales area after sales area, tent after tent, shed after shed of shit that just they weren't taken care of. I mean, maybe every 10th or 15th shed or area, they had actually taken care of their shit and had it cleaned and out there for sale. All the rest of them, dude, it's like they left that shit out in the sun every day, all day. So here's just a little tip for people that are reselling at flea markets or garage sales or whatever. Keep your media in the shade. DVDs and Blu-ray and vinyl and cassettes and all that kind of stuff, video games, any of it is no good if you leave it out in the sun. It gets bleached from the sun. It also can warp the disc and warp the tapes and ruin them. So unless you like, destroying your product and destroying your inventory, I advise putting it under a fucking shade or something, I mean, literally almost every single DVD that I saw was ruined already. So after looking at the first couple tents of DVDs and stuff, I just didn't look anymore. So it was just kind of annoying by that point. I'm like, these people don't take care of their fucking shit. So anyway, all right, let's move on to the third highest profit item that was sold. What was I thinking on this one? I think it's going to be, yeah, it will be. Actually, the last one probably made more money than this, but I'll go ahead. This is another product that I just was happy to get rid of. This is the Nike Air Jordan Sophia Slide Slippers, women's size 7. It's going to sound like they sold for a lot of money because, you know, the total purchase the person made was $77.16. I mean, these slides sold for $69.99 plus taxes and everything they had to pay. Ends up at $77.16. But I had free shipping on it. Sounds like it sold for a bundle, right? You know, not really. And I can tell you why is that we definitely paid up for these. We got these at the Ross dress store. I'd watched some videos on people that go to Ross dress stores and they go there to source product, you know. What do they call it? Oh my gosh. They have a name for it where they go into actual retail stores. It's a retail sourcing type of thing. So anyway, we thought we'd try it and we found these and knew that they were going for around $70 or so. They were $27.36 with tax and everything when we bought them. And that was way back in March. We ultimately ended up selling them, like I said, for $69.99. Then there was fees and all that jazz. And so I guess we did make a little bit more on this. We ended up taking home $49.25 after shipping and all that stuff. And so $27, we made about not quite $23 off those, but boy, am I happy to see them gone. I mean, I have had people look at them so many different times and try and talk me down on them and stuff. And it's like, no, man, you know, they're already at a lower price than if you went to buy them new, which you can't do because they're no longer made. So these particular slides are not cheap. And people pay a premium price for them. They're leather. They're really nice. Yeah, I mean, they're brand new slides. They still had stickers and stuff on them. They're new. So, yeah, we weren't looking at selling them for less than what was already probably $30 or so off the price that you would get them brand new. So, yeah, we ended up selling. We made like $22, $23. So not too bad, really. I can't complain too much there. Okay, so we did end up at one booth or table or whatever. This lady had some stuff there. We're kind of picking through it or whatever. And there were several of the people there that, while they may be older and maybe they've been doing this a while, they're not really good at what they do. Never, ever, ever, if you have a garage sale or you work at a store, even a regular retail store, or if you have a flea market table or a booth in an antique store, anything like that, never, ever, ever follow people around and tell them about each individual product that they look at and pick up. That sucks. And look, that sucked for me long before we started being resellers, okay? That sucked way before that. It just adds an extra added level of suckiness now, because it's like, look, man, just leave me alone. I'll ask you. The other thing that really sucks a lot, not having prices on things. Come on, man. That's just not how it goes. If you want to up price it and then we'll haggle over it, that's fine. But not having prices on things and then I have to ask you every single item that I'm looking at and I think might be something that we want to do, then that's bullshit, dude. It's just lazy and it's ridiculous. So this particular booth was a little bit of both of those things going on. But the first thing that I picked up that I saw there, and everything was stuck in different boxes and different stuff that made no sense. There was no order to it. It was just a mess. And this is one of the ones where it was kind of like a van or something, and they had a bed and everything in back. They slept in, her and her husband. I mean, it was just like, oh boy. Cue the banjo music in the background, right? I'm not making fun of people in situations like that. It sucks. I get it. But this is more of a choice than a predicament for people, okay? But I found this one box and I kind of looked down in there and I'm like, oh, hold up a second. So I found this little lunchbox, a little metal lunchbox that was still sealed, still had plastic wrap around it, sealed, brand new. It was upper deck. and it was Jordan, Michael Jordan. And what it is a little lunchbox they sold in like 1998, I think. And it had these special, cards in it that are worth a lot of money. I think it's Upper Deck. Yeah, here we go. 1998 Upper Deck lunchbox. Jordan. But it was still sealed. And I was like, holy crap. So I'm kind of looking at it and I'm like, whoa. But I'm like, okay, there's no price on it. Like, what's she going to want for this, right? So I ask her, and she's like, I don't know, if you want to make me an offer. Oof, another thing that's like, oh no. So, I go, well, hey, what about $5? And she's like, sure. And took it. I was like, whoa, sweet. I should make at least 10 times that. I should at least be able to sell it for $50. And then with shipping, probably 60 or 65 or $70. It still has the call to action stickers on it, like buy this has this, and all that jazz. Yeah, it's a tribute box. It has like a little pack in there of like 25 cards or 30 cards, I guess. Yeah, pretty wild. So I did find that. That was cool. April found a couple Christmas things there, a few nice things that were interesting. She did have records too, and I ended up walking out of there with probably 7 or 8 records under my arm. Just stuff that I was interested in. And the reason I really kind of got in, because I wasn't there to buy records, but the reason I started kind of really looking was I flipped through the first couple, and then there was Rock and Roll Animal, the live album by Lou Reed. And I'm like, geez, if this is in here, I mean, there's going to be other records in here. So I kind of looked through them all and walked away with a fair amount of them. So pretty happy with that purchase. But yeah, it was pretty wild. I didn't think there was anything at that booth for me until I found that Jordan thing. And then I was like, holy crap, maybe there's some gems at this place. All right, so let's see. Number 2 out of all the things we sold over the past few weeks since I've talked to you guys last. I guess I would go with, I'm getting kind of picky now. Yeah, I'll go with this one. This is from the source that I've been driving back and forth to about an hour, a little over an hour away. This is the first thing we've sold from this source. Now, I'm on the cusp of selling a big product where I'll make clear, after everything's done, probably a couple $100 off something I paid $15 for. This is pretty good too. This is these LL Bean Allagash Bison hand-sewn penny loafers. And they're new. They did have a little scratching on the leather, but I mean, you can buff that out and stuff. And I mean, but they're new shoes and they're really nice. But I think I bought those for $10. If I remember correctly, I did. I bought those for $10, and let me double check on that real quick. Yeah, $10, and ended up selling them for $59.99. So $64.79 with taxes and everything. So free shipping, of course. Even by the time we take out, transaction fee, shipping, ad fee, we're coming with about $41. Take away $15, so about $26 profit we made on that, which is great. I mean, that's good money, man. No two ways about it, and I definitely can't complain about that. So that was a good sale for sure. So we proceeded to keep looking around at these different places in this joint, and I mean, we found a few little things here and there, but we did not find much, and mostly because it's just so piss poor taken care of. The other thing is a lot of vendors don't show up on Friday. They want to be there on Saturday. That's when everybody's going to be there. I mean, we still had a good time, and it was interesting. We do like pork rinds. I know it's kind of gross, but we like them. And so there was a guy making them fresh there, and he was also doing kettle corn. So we bought a big bag of that from him and some pork rinds. And we talked to him for a little while. He was actually really nice. And he was kind of telling us about how he got into this and all that. But he was a very nice dude. And so we met a few people like that that were really pretty cool and very, very nice. But there were plenty of people in there that were just flaming assholes and had zero reason to be. And you're not going to sell anything if you're a dick. That's all I can tell you. And there's also a lot of people in there that thought they knew how much their shit was worth. And they thought they were selling it in an area that had a lot of money. And I can tell you that area does not have a lot of money, which is fine. But you have to read the room, right? You have to sell to who's there to buy. You can't sell to who you, in a fantasy, you want to sell to. You have to sell to who's actually there. And in that area, and even a lot of people come into that area, you're not going to have people that are going to pay $400 for an axe, okay? No shit, I swear to God. Now, I know there's some axes and axe heads and everything that are worth a lot of money, but $400? Are you kidding me? I mean, is it a gold axe head? It made no sense at all. There was a lot of shit like that that just was stupid. It was stupid. And so, you know, we found a few more things, and then we were just like, let's get the fuck out of here. You know? And I think we were there a total of 3 hours. We went and turned in the stupid golf cart and paid our $60 for that shit. And I mean, you know, right now we're way in the red on that trip, but we're in the red in general anyway. But I think if we sell a few things, we'll make it up, but probably not. It's going to take a while. I think if we sell everything that we got up there for what we're asking for it, we'll definitely make a little money. But good luck on that happening, in my experience. But it was still a nice trip to get away. And after we left there, we went to Kirksville, Missouri, which is, again, only about 23, 24 miles away, but about 45 minutes. And we decided to go there and do some sourcing at thrift stores and look for some garage sales when we were there as well. So that's what we did next. All right, let me get on to the number one thing that we made a big profit on this last 2 weeks. And really, this one is a big one. I mean, a big one for sure. It is the where there's a will, there's an A lot of high school CD, DVD sets with books. So this is an educational product, and the whole idea behind it is you get this for your student that maybe needs some help in high school, and they can watch these and listen to these discs and work through this workbook, and they're going to start doing better if they really try and they apply themselves. They'll do good. The cool thing about this is April found this, and she found it for really cheap. I want to say, let me double check here real quick because I want to get the numbers right for sure. Geez, if I can type. All right, here it is. Yes, where there's a will, there's an A lot. Okay, she purchased both these sets of discs. One is a set of DVDs, and one is a set of CDs, and then, like I said, just a little paper workbook. There are 6 each. So 6 CDs in one box, 6 DVDs in another box, and then a book, okay? And this was produced a while ago. It's not brand new, but it still pertains to today, okay? So people could use this if they're homeschooling their kids also. Bought that whole thing for $1.50. So basically 50 cents each item. And we sold that thing for $79.99. I shit you not. They actually paid $86.10 after taxes. It cost really only about $7 to ship because it's media mail. So not bad there. Of course, got gouged a little bit on the transaction fees. That's kind of just what happens. You just got to suck it up and take it. And there was $2.58 ad fee. I'll do 3% ad payment. So up to 3% of the sale goes towards eBay pushing my stuff up front when people are looking. That's a little low. They always suggest way higher than that, but I never go higher than 3%. So by the time it's all said and done, the order earnings is $57.12. But then again, remember, we paid $1.50 for this, so you know, realistically, we only made $55.62. So it was really a good deal, and she really knocked it out of the park on that one. And good job. I mean, she killed it. Yeah, basically 38 times what we paid for it is what we made. So that was really awesome. Great find, excellent job, and it's actually making somebody really happy. I mean, if you would have gone to buy this product when it was new, you would have paid hundreds of dollars for this thing, at least, probably over $100 for each part of it. So I bet you it's a couple $100, if not more, maybe $300 altogether. But this person got it for $80, and I hope they're working with their student and getting this done, and I hope it works out for them. It's pretty awesome. So that's the #1 sale over the last 2 weeks, and there's more stuff on the horizon, guys. We actually had pretty amazing last couple weeks. Let me see here how many products we've sold just in August. Okay, we sold almost 20 items, and it's only the 12th. So we sold 19 items in August so far, and it's only the 12th of August. So it's going really good. We're doing really well. Of course, I'd love to sell double that. Yeah, but we're not really that worried about that. I mean, we're not trying to break records here. What we're trying to do is, I've told you guys this several times. We're just trying to set this up so this will be a nice little extra income earner when we're retired. I mean, so you got to establish a store, get it running, all that stuff. Basically, fall down a lot and skin your knees to figure out what you're doing wrong, and then do it the correct way from there on out. And so I see this as, in a year or so from now, we'll have this down to a well-oiled machine, and it'll really just be a point of finding more inventory to sell. It'll be selling. It'll be moving regardless. We're not looking to make this a full-time job or replacing our income from our current jobs with it. That's not what we're after here. So to me, 19 items, almost 2 items a day for the first third of the month is fantastic. I mean, I didn't think we'd be here already. So that's really good. That's a really good feeling, and definitely enjoying that for sure. So, yeah, anyway, let's see what it says here. So far in sales, we've had $500, and we're not even halfway through the month. And probably, I'm guessing, we're sitting at around 60 to 65% profit. So that would put us at $300 profit, basically, on $500 sales. That includes us paying for shipping, for cost of goods sold, and and when I say shipping, not just the labels, the boxes, all the stuff to ship it in, tape, all that jazz, and then paying the fees to eBay. So pretty good, pretty good stuff, and I'm very, very happy with it. So pretty awesome. So we left the flea market. There was another one nearby, but to be honest with you, wasn't remotely interested in any more flea markets that day. It had kind of been rainy too, so there's a lot of dew and wetness around, a lot of puddles, and so we were just like, let's get the hell out of there. There were a lot of wasps flying around. I'm like, fuck this place. So we drove up to Kirksville and started hitting some places up there, and hit a couple garage sales that were and we got something to eat and all that jazz. And then we went back to where we were staying. And the point was we were going to go out that night and have a nice meal and spend some time together. And that would have been cool. So that's what we did. We went back, we relaxed, took a little nap, got all gussied up, went back into Kirksville, We ended up eating at a steak place. There were a couple Asian places that we were looking at, but it didn't pan out. We did eat lunch there though, because we were there earlier in the day. We did eat lunch at a great Italian place. They had great pizza, Venezia's, I believe is what it was called. And then later on, when we went to the steakhouse, it was Colton's, which is a chain. I believe it's like Texas Roadhouse or one of those joints. And it was all right. It was, I had the leftovers and it was really good. So, and the leftover pizza from that Venezia was awesome. But we went and had a nice meal, and then we went to a local bar there called Do Come In. And, there's a university there, Truman State. And so it was just full of college students and then us two old farts in there. So we hung out for a little bit, had a drink or so, and then just went back to the hotel and chilled out, got in the jacuzzi tub, watched a little TV, hung out, and went to bed. And our goal on the next day, which would have been Saturday, was to just get up and start heading back. We didn't want to go back up to Kirksville because realistically, the thrift stores and they just didn't have anything good. They were either outrageously priced or they just didn't have good shit. And so we decided we were going to drive on down through Columbia to head home. And I said, you know where we ought to stop on the way, because it's along this path is Moberly. Now, I dated a woman before I met my wife who was from there. And so I'd been to Moberly before. And I know that town has a little bit of money, and not a lot, but I know it's not dirt poor. And so we stopped there. We hit a garage sale that was awesome. Scored some great stuff there. A couple sealed puzzles. A collection of 5 of those Harry Potter wands. So I'll sell those as a lot. And then we scored some things for around the house, too. April found a really cool cinema sign that's really cool that lights up, because we do in our bathroom, our guest bathroom, we have a bunch of movie stuff in there. And then she also found a movie frame, so we can put pictures in there. Anyway, and then so we hit a couple garage sales there, and then we hit some thrift stores there. They were a little better, a little overpriced, the thrift stores were. And then we headed on down to Columbia, and same thing. We went to a couple garage sales there. We found some okay stuff. The last thrift store we went to, I did find some shoes that are worth some serious money. And we did hit one before that. That might have been in Moberly, though. We hit one before that had some stuff in their electrical area that they just didn't understand was worth money. And so we snagged some of that stuff, too. But thrift stores are out of control, man. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, if you're resellers, but I know everybody's griping right now about Goodwill. But damn, Goodwill, what the hell are you guys doing, man? You guys are out of your mind trying to charge some of these prices you're charging for shit. You should be ashamed. That's not what you're here for. Now, I know we're gonna go ahead and resell stuff, right? So it's really annoying to us, but even for people that are going to buy that, some shoes to wear and a TV to have, it's too expensive, guys. You can't charge $80 for an HD television when I can go buy a brand new 4K television at Walmart for $100 that's bigger. You can't do that. I mean, you can try, but that shit's going to sit there forever. So we found some stuff at there that they just didn't understand what it was worth. I don't know who's, researching their stuff to see what it's worth, but they only do a good job on some things. Other things they're just idiots about. So whatever, man. I guess I'm glad, right? So so we got a few things we got back. I mean, we had some full bags of stuff, and we're gonna get this stuff up there and get it listed as ASAP. Some of the other products that I bought from my source that I drove 3 weekends in a row back and forth over an hour each way. Some of those things that I bought from them are getting ready to sell. I know one pair of these tennis shoes that are pretty rare, these Converse, they're fixing to sell, hopefully by Friday at the latest. This guy was, it's weird too. That's another thing I'll bring up. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but sometimes I've noticed people kind of come at you with really low price, like, hey, would you take this for it? And it's like half of what you're charging for it. And I'm like, nope. I mean, sometimes I won't even respond. Okay. But if it's within some sort of reason, I'll respond halfway in between or somewhere in between what they're saying and what I'm going to sell it for. And one time you never really want to do that is when I have 33 watchers on an item. So I know a lot of people don't put a lot of faith in watchers or views, but it does mean something. It means these shoes are going to sell soon. They may not sell tomorrow. They may not sell a month from now, but they're going to sell. And they're going to sell for good price too. So I had a situation like that, and this has happened a couple times, where this guy was like basically giving me this whole story about how he wants to get these for his daughter. She really likes them, and but offered me basically $70 less than what I've got them listed for, and I'm already at least $50 less than what everybody else is charging for them, okay? And less than what people have gotten for them recently. These are brand new in a box shoes that are no longer made. And I'm not going to do that. So I came back and I just said, look, man, I can't do that. Keep in mind, shipping's included on this. So, if I did it the way you're doing, I'm taking a pretty big loss here, and I just can't do that. So I can do this price, and remember, shipping's included. So these are going to be not cheap to ship. So you're probably saving $20 at least there. Anyway, he came back and said, "Oh, I got to borrow the money and blah blah blah." I don't know, man. The problem with that situation is, and I'm not a cold-hearted person, man. Trust me, I'm definitely always willing to help people out and stuff like that. But I don't know this person. This could be someone who's a reseller. They could be saying that stuff, and then they're going to turn around and sell these for $400. For all I know, I have no idea. So I just, when I get things like that and people kind of give me sob stories, I had it from this fella, and I get it, man. I understand. But I had it from, and if it's true, man, I'm sorry, but I just don't know, right? And would you go into a store and do that? No. This is a store. It's just online. Just because I'm a person and it's eBay, doesn't matter, okay? That's not what you do. Now, I mean, you can offer a little bit less and see if they'll take it. That's fine. But to try and take, $70 off the price, which is already lower than everybody else, that's kind of bullshit, no matter what the situation is. I had that with him, and I had it with another lady not long ago. And this one's really crazy. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles VHS tape that's an special Easter episode of the cartoon show. It's sealed, and I think includes shipping and everything, and it's worth a little bit of money or I wouldn't have it, right? But it's sealed and everything. $15 shipped to you. I mean, again, I've talked about this before, guys. If I find something like that that's rare and I want it, and it's only $15, I'm not going to haggle around on it, dude. Send it to me, especially with free shipping. So anyway, the lady who was going to buy that thing, and she's never bought it. I just think some of that shit's a scam. And again, there's no way you'd know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't think it all is. There could be some truth to it. I don't know. That's the point. I don't know. And the other point is, you would never walk into a store and do that. Oh, hey, I'll give you $70 less than what this costs. They'd be like, get the fuck up out of here, dude. That's not going to happen. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on. But I appreciate you guys checking in. It was a good trip. We had a fun time just hanging out together and enjoying some time alone together and having some good food. I mean, the first night we got there, that Thursday night, actually, you could walk across the parking lot and there was a Mexican restaurant right there. So we went and ate there. I got to tell you, wasn't the most Mexican food. It was a little bland, but it was still good enough. And they had a shot of tequila there for me, so I was pretty happy with that. But it was a good trip. We had fun just being together. I mean, that's really what it was all about. We got a lot of busy things going on this next month, a lot of shows we're going to see and stuff like that. The other thing that's happening is I did order my Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and yeah, they're pretty pricey. Oof, a little bit much, but that's okay. I had to get prescription lenses in them. I went ahead and ponied up for the transition lenses, which I've hated transition lenses for decades. But then again, the transition lenses that I had last was decades ago. So technology's changed. These things change to dark within like 20 seconds. And then in less than 2 minutes, they're back to normal when you come inside. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I got those ordered, and I thought we were looking probably at like the 15th through the 25th is what they originally estimated when I could expect receiving them. Well, they'll actually be here on the 13th. So I've gotten a notice that they shipped out, and they should be here on the 13th. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to get those and to start using those in this sourcing endeavor that we're after here. With the thrift stores being the way they are, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I go to these half price days they have still. But other than that, when it gets cold out and stuff, we're probably looking at hitting the bins. The Goodwill bins is still reasonable for the most part. And then there's another bin placed by a city thrift that's pretty good. But I can't see... Goodwill's the biggest bad one as far as their charges. And they're also selling shit online, which is bullshit. But whatever. Yeah, they keep the good stuff and sell it online. Whatever. And they kind of also, from what I've seen online and stuff, they kind of treat resellers bad, which I don't understand. Aren't they spending the same amount of money that other people in their shopping are? What the hell difference does it make to you, right? You know, I was at a Walmart here, had to stop in and get some milk or whatever, and I always walk through their clearance aisle because I have done sourcing there. And I found these packs of Hot Wheels track. I found 10 of them for $1 each pack. I started looking online on eBay. Dude, somebody just sold 4 of those for $40. So you make $9 per pack. So you're basically telling them to make $36 off of spending $4. Okay. So there's places to look and there's places to find things. And garage sale season's the best because you're going to get it the cheapest then. But sometimes also garage sale season's bullshit. People want too much money. They get a hankering and they get a wild hair at their butt and they think that they know about how this stuff works, and they don't. I didn't before I started doing this, and I'm just learning still. So I didn't know it. So I don't know somebody who doesn't do this part-time at least. I don't know how the hell they would know. Anyway. It's an interesting thing, but I'm looking forward to getting those glasses and being able to look at something and then ask the AI, hey, what's the current retail or what's the current resale market value of this item, and get an answer. That's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. Granted, since it's the Meta Ray-Bans, I'll only be able to do it for 4 hours before I have to charge them again, which kind of sucks. But to be honest with you, I'm not out doing this for 4 hours at a time, so it's no big deal. But that's it, guys. That's all I got for this episode. I appreciate you listening. There'll be a new episode of the Dad Snark podcast next week, and then I'll see you guys again in a couple weeks. I'll have another list of 5 things that we've sold at that point, and hopefully I got some big dogs on there because I know I've got some items that are pretty hefty that are big profit that I'm looking at selling here soon. It is back to school time. Got some nice backpacks and bags and stuff, and I got some really nice shoes and clothes for kids to get back to school in. So anyway, hope I have some good information next time I see you guys. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you later.